As you might guess in this video, we're going to refresh the front suspension and steering on this truck. Kind of by accident. Let's get into it. Okay, so let me elaborate on the by accident part. So I had the entire plan to refresh the front suspension with parts that I got from that frame. As you saw in the last video, I talked about it. Got the coil spring buckets off, everything looked great. Well, as I started digging into this truck, I realized that my tie rod, steering linkage, drag link, all of it was shot. I think it was factory from 1978. So there goes more change out of my pocket, and I got some steering components. I'm happy though, because the fact that I am going the speeds that I'm going in this truck, this truck was never designed to go 100 ever, let alone 120 in a quarter mile. So obviously I'm getting to the point now, I'm an adult now. It's less about, oh, how fast can I go? I mean, it's still about that. But it's less about how fast can I go, and it's more, how am I gonna stay safe while I'm doing this? So I tackle that. I'm actually filming this after I already completed the video, as you can tell by me having the steering linkage on the ground over there. Everything's already done. But, I mean, like I said, did the steering by accident. I knew I was gonna refresh the suspension. Overall, things went pretty good. I hit a couple snafus, but I'll explain everything at the end.
3:28 a.m.
All right, y'all. So, I don't know if every YouTuber does this, but typically you try something once before you film it. That way you don't film a fail for no reason. I do. So I've been working on this passenger side all day. You can see all the junk and dust that's come off of it. I can't hear anything. I've been using the air chisel. I'm covered in crap. But finally got this spring perch off. And the other pain today that I didn't film is I replaced the kingpin on this. I replaced the whole kingpin, everything, on the passenger side I-beam. Wow, it sucked. Today has been a day. I've been running around all day, grabbing different tools that I don't have, borrowing tools, whatever. Man, I can't catch a break. Anyway, I promise I'm going to film doing the driver's side. But that one's easy. I already have the rivets and everything taken off of the spring perch, all that. It shouldn't be too bad. Now I say that, something's going to go wrong. But golly, it's been a day.
Tomorrow.
I'm pretty glad I ordered new radiator arm bushings. These ones are shot. I mean, golly. Better late than never, I guess. This is so crazy to look at. There's nothing there. And think, this is basically where the other frame is at right now. No front suspension, just a blank canvas. Like I said, I really want to get that lower A-arm suspension built, that long travel deal that a lot of the no-prep cars have. I want to get that built. I think it would be pretty dang sweet. One project at a time. Jeez, oh gosh. So, as I mentioned, all my steering linkage was pretty crappy. I mean, this is pretty chunky, pretty grindy. I don't like it. So I went ahead and got all new. You can see new tie rod in there. Everything's new up in there. It looks great. I'm really glad I did that, because going, 120-ish in the quarter and, having that steering doesn't seem safe. But still need to put the coil spring bucket on the passenger side. It's ready to go. I got my bolts, got everything. It's just a matter of doing it. And then I get to tear this side apart. This side's already all bolted in. Really all I have to do is loosen it, and then I'm done. So, ain't nothing to it but to do it. Okay, so I got the driver's side all off and taken care of, and it was a little easier. Not a ton, but a little. Can't complain too much. Got this bushing installed on the passenger side. Yeah, the passenger side I-beam, but it's mounted on the driver's side. It's weird. Anyways, here is the original spring perch that I had. You can see the super thick plating that we did and filled a crack in it. And I mean, it worked, and it was not going anywhere. Let's be honest. It was ready to go to Afghanistan. But before we welded it, it was not. So, yeah. Pretty, that was pretty bad. The weld and repair worked great. The bucket itself, pretty bad. So that's why we got new. We'll throw that there. But first I'm gonna throw some POR 15 down on this frame, at least where it's easy to get to. And then we're good. Said I got all the new bushings in. Show you. You can see the new red bushings there and all the new bushings in the I-beams. Like I said, it looks killer, and I'm excited to be done. This project has been a pain in random levels. That's the other thing. I gotta tighten up my tie rod end because that wheel over there is straight. This one's turned. So it's fun. But yeah, I'm gonna start painting this, and then we'll call this project pretty much done. Got some plans today, so I'm gonna let all this paint dry while I'm gone, and then after that, we'll be good to go. Hi, got some paint on her. I'm waiting, obviously, to put this bolt in the passenger side I-beam because I need the second bracket for it, which goes over all that. So that means I'm waiting to finish up everything on this side. Pretty much all that's left is secure this with the strap up top. It's already mounted down at the bottom, and put the shock in, and we're good to go. I got all the new steering linkage all greased up and happy, and I'm happy. I do need to re-drill this hole under here. There's supposed to be a bolt there, and there isn't, so I need to re-drill that, but I can do that pretty much whenever. I just need to make sure I actually remember to do it. So I know I'm gonna get plenty of comments on this. Oh, you're doing it wrong. I'm getting it close is what I'm doing. So I'm measuring from just barely on each side of the spring perch. Right there I'm at 16 3/8. And right there I'm at 16 3/8. So I know that this side's pretty much straight, relatively, to the frame. Like I said, could be way off. I'm gonna go make sure the steering wheel's straight, and then I'm gonna go work on the other side. That's the side that has all the adjustments, so I'll show you. Okay, so what I found out, the other side is exactly 16 3/8 to each side. This side is 16 5/8, 16 1/8. So I'm just gonna adjust my link right here. I'll show you. That's all the adjustment. That's all the adjustment in this entire steering system, is that little bit right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and take care of that, get it close, get it good enough, and then whenever the roads don't have a ton of salt on them, we'll do a test drive. But at least we'll be able to, I don't know, try this out. And I feel like it's gonna be safer to drive. The steering wheel was always super sloppy and it would wander a little bit. And I feel like with how bad the bushings were and how bad the tie rods were, I feel like none of this is gonna hurt. So it should help a good bit. Only time will tell. 7/16. 16 1/4. Getting close. Straight on. I'll tell you, steering feels tight. Like I've never experienced in this truck before. Granted, it's not running, power steering pump isn't on, but by just moving the steering wheel, just wiggling it, it looks real good. Or feels real good, rather. Heck yeah, let's get these wheels put on and make sure I didn't change ride height or anything. Okay, so you made it to the end of the video. You might have more questions. So I didn't film doing the kingpin on the passenger side because I had no idea how it was gonna go. I didn't even know if I was gonna be able to do it. What's good about my situation with the kingpin was my actual bushings, the brass bushings in the spindle were great. There was no play in that. All of my play was actually from them not having the shims between the spindle and the actual I-beam. So the actual spindle and I-beam would rock back and forth. And you could hear it clunk every once in a while if I hit a bump right or something. So I've been meaning to do that for over a year now. I've had the kingpin, the kit. But finally got that done. I think I did it right. If not, I have more spares. The driver side didn't need done yet. But my logic for not doing it right now was with everything I just did, with all the new bushings, the new bolts, everything I just did, it's already been apart. So it will be that much easier in the future to replace that kingpin. I'll be able to take everything apart easier. Everything's already been loosened, retightened, taken apart, cleaned up, all of that. So not stressing about it yet. But I'm super happy with how this turned out. I feel like I solved more problems than I knew I had. For instance, if I would roll this truck out of the garage just by hand, just pushing it, you would almost hear it squeak, 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 squeak. And I don't know if that was the alignment. I don't know what that was, to be honest. So I guess we'll figure it out later. But the other issue that I had is I don't have the dream beams or the drop I-beams on this truck. This is merely, I had an angle grinder and a cutoff wheel, and I cut 3 coils out of the coil springs. Big difference compared to what's sitting over there, if it'll focus. I don't know. There's coil springs over there, take my word for it. But there's always been a good amount of camber on this truck that you can't fix because it doesn't have ball joints. You can't really do an alignment that way. All you can do is tow on the alignment on these trucks. And I've always had pretty good amount of camber, and after lowering this thing on the ground, it seems way better. It's still got a little bit, which I'm not worried about a little bit. I don't care. But it does look a lot better. Yeah, I'm happy with it. And I will say, the suspension does need to settle. It's sitting a little high up in the front. The truck's kind of level at this point. It's pretty level, but I want it to sit a little bit lower in the front. And if that means I have to cut another spring or another coil out, so be it. I'll get the saw right now. I don't care. But I'm happy that it's just on the ground again, and it appears that it's going to drive straight. The alignment seems good enough. So yeah, I'm stoked. Anyways, I appreciate you guys watching. I know this probably isn't everyone's favorite thing because everyone wants to see motor stuff, nitrous stuff, but this is stuff that needs done. I've needed to do this for a while. I normally don't care about the safety stuff, like I said. I'm getting to that point, so I'm glad I finally got it done. I'm glad I found this issue when I did and not going 120 miles an hour down the track and the steering arm falls off and I hit the wall. So, not saying that can't still happen. I've seen new parts go bad, but I have a little bit more peace of mind doing it. So, anyways, like I said, thanks guys for watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe if you get a second. And that's it for me. But you guys have a good one. See you on the next one.